Green beans. They're probably one of the most underrated vegetables out there, right? I mean, when people talk about superfoods, they're going crazy over kale and blueberries and all that. But nobody's really giving green beans the credit they deserve. So I got curious. What would actually happen to your body if you ate green beans every single day? I dug into the research, looked at the studies, and honestly, the results are pretty impressive. Today, we're going to talk about what's really going on in your body when you make green beans a daily habit, and trust me, some of this might actually surprise you. The nutritional breakdown. First, let's talk about what you're actually getting. 1 cup of green beans, which is about 100 grams, contains only 31 calories. But packed into those calories, you're getting almost 3 grams of fiber, 2 grams of protein, and basically no fat. You're also getting 25% of your daily vitamin C needs, 20% of vitamin K, and decent amounts of vitamin A, folate, and manganese. What really stands out, though, is the vitamin K content. This is crucial for blood clotting and bone health, and green beans are absolutely loaded with it. But here's where it gets interesting. Green beans contain these compounds called flavonoids and carotenoids. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry identified over 60 different flavonoid compounds in green beans. These aren't just fancy words. These are powerful antioxidants that protect your cells from damage, digestive health. So what happens first when you start eating green beans daily? Your digestion is probably going to thank you. That fiber content is split between soluble and insoluble fiber, and both types are doing important work. The insoluble fiber acts like a broom for your digestive tract, helping move things along and preventing constipation. Research from the World Journal of Gastroenterology shows that people who consume adequate fiber have a 40% lower risk of developing diverticular disease, but the soluble fiber is feeding your gut bacteria. And this is where things get really cool. When your gut bacteria ferment this fiber, they produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. A study in the journal Cell Metabolism found that butyrate helps reduce inflammation in your gut and may even protect against colon cancer. People who eat high-fiber vegetables regularly have been shown to have more diverse gut microbiomes, which is linked to better overall health, improved immunity, and even better mental health. Heart health. Now let's talk about your heart. If you're eating green beans every day, your cardiovascular system is getting some serious benefits. The fiber in green beans helps lower LDL cholesterol. That's the bad cholesterol. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that for every 10 grams of fiber consumed daily, there was a 10% reduction in the risk of coronary heart disease. Green beans alone give you about 3 grams per cup. So if you're combining them with other high-fiber foods, you're making a real dent. But it's not just the fiber. Green beans contain flavonoids called quercetin and kaempferol. Research from the European Journal of Epidemiology involving over 98,000 participants found that people with higher intakes of these specific flavonoids had a 20% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Your blood vessels are also benefiting from the vitamin C content, which helps maintain the integrity of your arterial walls and reduces oxidative stress. And hey, if you're enjoying this deep dive into green beans, do me a solid and hit that like button. It actually helps more people discover this content, and I really appreciate it. Blood sugar regulation. Here's something that really caught my attention. Green beans have a low glycemic index, around 15, which is incredibly low. For context, white bread is around 75. This means green beans don't cause those blood sugar spikes that leave you feeling tired and hungry an hour later. But there's more to it than that. A study in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that green bean extract actually improved insulin sensitivity in people with type 2 diabetes. The participants who consumed green bean extract showed significant reductions in fasting blood glucose levels after just 8 weeks. The fiber slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, which helps keep your energy levels stable throughout the day. If you've ever felt that mid-afternoon crash after lunch, adding green beans to your meals could actually help prevent that. Research from the British Journal of Nutrition showed that people who ate more non-starchy vegetables, like green beans, had better glycemic control and were 14% less likely to develop type 2 diabetes over a 10-year period. Bone health. Now your bones. This is where that vitamin K really shines. Vitamin K activates proteins that are essential for bone mineralization. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 72,000 women for 10 years. and found that those with the highest vitamin K intake had a 30% lower risk of hip fractures. Compared to those with the lowest intake, 1 cup of green beans gives you about 20% of your daily vitamin K needs, so eating them every day adds up. Green beans also contain silicon, which is a trace mineral that doesn't get talked about much, but it's actually really important for bone formation and collagen synthesis. Plus, the vitamin A and vitamin C in green beans support the production and maintenance of collagen, which gives your bones their flexibility and strength. Inflammation and immunity. Let's talk about inflammation for a second. Chronic inflammation is linked to pretty much every major disease: heart disease, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's. Green beans contain chlorophyll, lutein, zeaxanthin, and beta-carotene, all of which have anti-inflammatory properties. A study in the journal Nutrients found that people who consumed higher amounts of carotenoid-rich vegetables had significantly lower levels of C-reactive protein, which is a key marker of inflammation in the body. Your immune system is also getting a boost. The vitamin C content supports the production and function of white blood cells, which are your body's first line of defense against infections. A review in the journal Nutrients found that adequate vitamin C intake reduced the duration of common colds by about 8% in adults. It's not a huge difference, but when you're sick, every day counts. Potential considerations. Now, is there anything to watch out for? For most people, green beans are incredibly safe. But if you're on blood thinners like Warfarin, you need to be aware of that vitamin K content. Vitamin K affects blood clotting, so you don't necessarily have to avoid green beans, but you should keep your intake consistent so your medication can be properly dosed. Talk to your doctor if you're on these medications. Some people also experience gas or bloating when they suddenly increase their fiber intake. If you're not used to eating a lot of vegetables, start with smaller portions and gradually increase. Your gut bacteria need time to adjust. So, what actually happens when you eat green beans every day? Your digestion improves, your gut bacteria flourish, your heart gets stronger, your blood sugar stays stable, your bones become more resilient, and your overall inflammation levels drop. For something so simple and inexpensive, green beans pack a serious nutritional punch. The research is clear. Regular consumption of non-starchy vegetables, like green beans, is associated with better health outcomes across the board. They're easy to prepare, they're available year-round, and they're one of the most budget-friendly vegetables you can buy. Whether you're eating them steamed, roasted, sautéed, or even raw in a salad, you're doing your body a favor. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos where I break down the science behind everyday foods. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.